We've all wondered what's next at some point in our lives. We get this vague sense that we're missing out, stuck in dead-end jobs, lifeless relationships, stale routines. Our grooves become ruts. We run ourselves in circles, looking for something new, fresh for that next step. So, what is next? What if we were wired for growth? What if asking what's next is what we were meant to do? What if the answer to what's next, whether we're looking for direction in dating, school, jobs, friendships, or family, was a spiritual one? Each of our spiritual journeys are unique, but they also have a lot in common. First, we seek. We ask questions. We search for the truth. We admit that we don't have the answers, but hope beyond hope that an answer exists. Eventually, we begin to trust and take a leap of faith to receive the truth of who God is and who we are. We let God love us. We start believing Jesus is who he says he is in the Bible and begin receiving our true identities as God's beloved children. The next step is to follow. When we follow, we quit negotiating and take action. We trust that God will guide us and we do what he says. We get disciplined, we work hard, we obey, and our lives are transformed. Now it is time to produce. God wants us to share what we know with our friends, helping them to seek, encouraging them to receive, and showing them what it means to follow. What's next? Seeking, receiving, following, producing. 4 simple steps taken over and over, transforming us into who God designed us to be, a team of producers who go after kingdom projects like flipping our city and changing the world.
Good morning. My name's Roy, and so glad you guys are here with us this morning, and a special welcome to my friends in Auditorium B. Listen, if you're here, it's your first time, we want to welcome you. We're really glad that you're here, and just to explain, we like to sing songs around here, so we're about to do that, and this week we have a new song, and it might be a little different from the songs we normally sing around here, some of the words and language, but we want to encourage you guys to sing with us anyway. But if you are new and you're kind of, that's not really my thing yet, I'm not quite sure about that, then go ahead, enjoy your coffee, sip along, and just listen to the band. But because this is a new song, we're going to sing it together a couple times first. So if you could do me a favor and go ahead and stand up. And if you're in the center, if you could sort of squish, if you're in the center section, to the middle and maybe make some room for people coming in here in a bit. And if you're on the sides, you could sort of squish to the wall. That'd be fantastic. And we'll get to singing. Now, I really, because I do want to hear you guys singing, we're going to sing the chorus a couple times real quick. It's kind of a cool new song that one of our worship leaders wrote. And that means you too, Auditorium B. Don't make me come over there, because I will. Got a really long cable. It'll really mess me up, though, but I'll do it. You don't want this in your grill. All right. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's just seek the Lord, and he will be found. It goes like this. Seek the Lord, and he will be found. Call upon him, and he will draw near, yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Shows his mercy and compassion. I'll do it again. How about we get a kick this time and a clap? That'll help me out. Do this. Yeah, thank you. You have to keep doing it because I can't play guitar at the same time. Sorry. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near, yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. He shows us mercy and compassion. Whoa, great job. Give yourselves a hand. We are hungry for so much more. Nothing we have satisfies. We are thirsty for healing water, can it be found without a price? Is there more than what we know? Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near. Yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Show his mercy and compassion. Whoa. We are waiting for so much more. We're working hard every day. We are searching for deeper meaning. Help us understand your way. Is there more than what we know? Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near. Yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Come for mercy and compassion. Whoa. So we find joy in this lifetime and peace in storm. Lord, help us find you. Help us listen and be still. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near. Yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near. Yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Shows his mercy and compassion. Whoa.
Shine your light into the dark. Speak your truth into my heart. I want to know who you are. Shine your light into the dark. Speak your truth into my heart. I want to know who you are. Sing, open my eyes. Open my eyes so I can see you. Open my ears so I can hear you. I give my heart to you. I want to know. I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are. So show me who you are. Sing, shine your light with us. Shine your light into the dark. Speak your truth into my heart. I want to know who you are. my heart to you. I want to know who you are. I want to know who you are. So show me who you are. Show us who you are. Open my eyes. Open my eyes so I can see you. Open my ears so I can hear you. I give my heart to you. Sing that again. Open my eyes so I can see you. Open my ears so I can hear you. I give my heart to you. I want to know who you are. 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 Show me who you are. Show us who you are. Who you are.
God, we want to know more of who you are. I know that I need to know more of you, and I just ask that you would reveal more of yourself to me. As long as I've been following you, I still need more. The best parts of my life come from seeking you. Amen. So thanks a lot for singing with us. Appreciate that. Why don't you turn around and go ahead and say good morning to somebody and have a seat.
Good morning. Welcome to Crossroads West Side. If you guys aren't awake after that kick drum, man, I don't know what it'll take. My name is Brian Kessner. I'm a volunteer around here. I serve on the First Impressions team. I am an usher. Usually I'm not up in the lights. Usually I'm the guy making you move uncomfortably further into the section of seats. We are, if you haven't noticed, there have been some subtle signs throughout asking for you to help come out and serve alongside of us. They've been in the restrooms, by the coffee, in the doors. Personally, I thought we should have had our campus pastor, Greg, dress up like Uncle Sam and do the I Want You. Unfortunately, they reminded me that's why I'm a volunteer and they're on staff here. So, couple ways to get connected. As we said, this place isn't run by a huge staff. It's volunteer driven. If you are looking to grow, if you are looking to make this place seem a little smaller, we'd love for you to come and check us out. After service today, in meeting room C, there's going to be FI for First Impressions, FI 101. We'd love for you to come and hear more about it. Also, you can go to crossroads.net/makeithappen and sign up there as well. Something else we've been talking about lately is Whiz Kids. Whiz Kids is something that Crossroads has put together around here to just make a huge impact on the kids in our city. Myself being a teacher, I love this program. I am so glad that we have people that sign up and give their time to mentor kids that ultimately will go on to read at higher levels, perform math, and ultimately have test scores be much higher than what they would have been without this program. Another thing going on around here is our moms and fathers group. Moms, it's not too late to sign up. They meet here on Tuesdays at 9:30. There is childcare, so if you either want to come connect with moms or just kind of push the kids away for a couple hours, they'd love to have you there. It's not too late. Fathers group, we meet on Fridays at 6:03. That's in the morning. I know that's early. I was there last week, and trust me, there are plenty of donuts and plenty of caffeine to get you going. And it's not too late. You can sign up. You can just show up. We'd love to have you at those. All of the stuff that we do around here is fueled from just everyday people like you and me giving generously. It's not from big donors. It's not from companies. And one way to grow in where you're at spiritually is through giving. There's a couple ways to give around here. In a moment, the ushers are going to come around, and they're going to pass the bag. If you're new here, just let that bag pass you by. We're not about your money. We're just glad you're here. Another way you can give is going on to crossroads.net/give, and you can give that way via phone or the internet. Either way, we are just so glad you're here. We're so thankful that you're in these seats, and we have a unique opportunity today. Normally, if you're new around here, normally we have the teaching via video from our Oakley campus. Today, we're going to have Greg speak to us live, which is going to be awesome, and he's going to talk about seeking. Now, I know if you're like me, one thing I'm constantly trying to do is seek God and seek hearing His Word. And I know many of us probably have this similar question in our minds.
In 2011, my wife and I made the trip up to Chicago, and we got to see U2 in Soldier Field. It was a packed-out house, and when they did this song, there wasn't a single person who wasn't on their feet. And it felt like a spiritual experience. You might even say it was like a worship experience. And everyone in there was worshiping someone or something. And I think it's because deep down in us, we were all created to have this same question. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Why don't you pray with me? God, we are so searching for you. Some of us have been searching for you for a long time, and we've seen your face a couple of times, and others of us, we're just still looking. And so today we ask that you would meet us where we're at and that we might see you. In your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Hey, let's give these guys a hand. Phenomenal stuff today. Always good when you teach on the weekend because you can slide in a special request. I love it. My name's Greg. I'm the campus pastor around here. Like Brian said, typically, Crossroads, we say we're one church with multiple locations, and what that means is on the weekend, we hear a 35-minute message all over the city from our Oakley campus. Thank you. And today, all the campuses actually get to hear from their campus pastors. So sorry you didn't know about that in advance. You could have gone somewhere else, but now you're here, and you'll be done in about a half an hour, so it won't be too bad. You know, this question of seeking is all over the place. Oftentimes, I go home on Sunday, and I turn on the TV, and I get stuck in a marathon of American pickers. If you have History Channel, you know that they don't just run one. They run about 8 at a time, and it's a couple of guys who are just in search of value among ordinary items. So they'll go to people's houses who have a bunch of junk, and they'll say, hey, do you mind if we dig through this? Sometimes they say yes. Other times they get met with a shotgun in the face. But regardless, these guys are all just seeking. They're searching for something valuable. In fact, a little tip, if you've seen this show enough, you know that they will haggle you down and buy something very valuable for about $10. And then at the end of the show, it shows how they've sold it for about $1,000. So if they ever come to your house, just be on to the tip. I think that we're all wired for this. I think we're all wired to seek. In fact, right now, the reality is you probably are seeking after something. Maybe you're seeking after your next career. Maybe you're seeking for a husband or a wife. Maybe you're seeking the next vacation, the next car. You're seeking a bigger house. Americans are wired to seek. But what would it look like if we actually sought after God? If we sought to look at him for who he was? Last week, Brian introduced the series, and we took a look at this framework. And Brian said it's not just that you want to say, yes, I believe in God, or no, I don't believe in God. It's that he's actually interested in your spiritual growth. And he wants you to bring you to something called spiritual maturity. And we looked at this sort of framework where you see that you're sort of outside the circle when you're maybe agnostic, atheist, indifferent. And Brian said that's just normal. That's normal. That's where we all are. But sometimes we hit a wall in our life, and it throws us into seek mode. Seek mode, where we're asking questions. And like the video said at the beginning, as we seek, we start to get some answers. And we might receive what God says about us. And as we receive it, it might give us some fuel to actually follow after him to where we become producers and bear fruit in our lives and the lives of others. You know, I know all too well what a seeker looks like because I have a 3-year-old. And she loves to ask me questions. In fact, she asks the word why about 300 times a day, and they're usually in clusters of 5. And if you want to start to feel dumb, just get down 3 why levels, and every time you'll have to say at some point, I don't know. Hey, I need you to eat your broccoli. Why? Because it's a green vegetable and it's good for you. Why? Okay, you win. No green vegetables today. It's cool. In fact, this theory is backed up that my 3-year-old Emmy knows something about asking questions. This guy, Warren Berger, wrote a book called A More Beautiful Question, and he says this, and it's true. Any preschooler can ask questions easily and profusely. A recent study found the average 4-year-old British girl asks her mom 390 questions a day. The boys that age aren't far behind. So then, it might be said that questioning is like breathing. It's a given, an essential and accepted part of life, and something that anyone, even a child, can do. Yet chances are, for the rest of her life, that 4-year-old girl will never ask questions as instinctively, as imaginatively, or as freely as she does at that shining moment. Unless she's exceptional, that age is her questioning peak. My daughter is almost at her questioning peak, and I have a hunch that the reason she's at her peak is because there are dads like me who go, enough with the questions already. Enough with the questions already. but we all have something that's created in us that wants to seek. Now, why are we talking about this today? Well, I think we're talking about it because, like Brian said last week, if we want to go to the next place with God, if we want to go to the next level, then it starts with seeking. You may have come in here today and saw the little video and thought, oh, great, I've got this one. I passed seeking stage a way long time ago, so I'm just going to hope that my wife listens to this one, and I'm going to tune out for the rest of the time. And I would say, you are wrong. You're wrong, because if there's one thing I want you to get today, it's this. You will only experience God in your life if you seek him. It's the only way to continually experience God in your life is if you are continually seeking him. Today, you could have stayed home. You could have walked out in the driveway, got the Cincinnati Enquirer, brewed a cup of coffee, and sat in your favorite chair on a beautiful fall day, and you could have done that. But because you went out the door and you're sitting here, it's showing God, hey, I'm doing something to seek you. I'm seeking you. I would love to know more about you. In fact, this place is built around this very idea. I don't know if you realize or not, but our mission statement kind of goes along with that framework. Our mission statement is connecting seekers to a community of growing Christ followers who are changing the world. We're connecting seekers to Christ followers. And we did a survey a few months ago and asked you sort of where you were, and there were some hidden questions that sort of got at this framework. And at Westside alone, we had 50 people, over 50 people identify that, yes, I am still seeking. I'm still seeking. Let me tell you, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. If I was a seeker, the last place I would go is church, because church typically does not like people who ask questions. We love that you're here. Everywhere in our spheres of influence need people who are asking more questions. We need asking more questions in education. We need to ask more questions in the business world. We need to ask more questions in church. And the fact that you're here spurs us on to remember that we're never done seeking. I love it. Wherever you are, everything we do here is to help you seek. From the cup of coffee that makes it a little bit easier to come in and ask questions, to provoking videos, to teaching, everything we do around here is to help you seek. As I was preparing for this message, I just did the Google of the Bible. It's called Bible Gateway. You can go there and you can plug in any search term, and I typed in the word seek, and it came back with 321 results. 321 results. Now, in my marketing days, I learned that if you wanted something to seek in, you say it 3 times. So God clearly has something to say here about seeking. And today, I just want to give you some practical handles, whether you're in seeker mode or whether it's been a while since you've been there, to hopefully start that journey again. And the first one is this: seek God first. Seek God first. Matthew 6:33, some of you might know this verse, says this: but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Jesus is talking with his disciples, and they're really starting to get worried. They're like, dude, we don't have any food. We don't have any place to sleep. And he says, guys, you're following me. Don't worry about that stuff. Do this. Seek the kingdom first, and all of this stuff will be added to you. It'll all be added to you. But that's a little more micro level, and what I'd love to do is take it down a little bit. Because you see, another way to look at seeking God first would actually be, what if not just having our buckets? Okay, if I have my bucket of God, my bucket of family, my bucket of work, and I know that the bucket of God goes first. I get that. What would it be like when you have a difficult question to actually ask God first? What would it be like to ask him first? There's a story in the Bible of a guy named Saul, and Saul didn't ask God first. It says this in the book of 1 Chronicles. So Saul died for his breach of faith. He broke faith with the Lord in that he did not keep the command of the Lord, and also consulted a medium, seeking guidance. He did not seek guidance from the Lord. Therefore, the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David, the son of Jesse. Saul died because he didn't seek God first. Now, the last thing I want you to do is walk out of here and going, oh, shoot. I could be looking death in the face because I've been seeking. The point is that God has a really strong opinion about who you ask questions to first. I look at this sometimes as maybe I have an ailment. Maybe I've got something hurting, and I make the appointment with the doctor, and it occurs to me on the way to the doctor that I haven't really asked God about this yet. Hey, I would love for you to help me out with this, whatever I'm feeling. Or maybe I have an argument with my spouse, and it feels a little too good to pick up the phone and call a buddy and go, you got to listen to this, I need some advice. What would it look like to actually ask God first? My buddy Kyle I've been in a small group with him for a long time. He's actually speaking on main stage this weekend. Phenomenal dude. He let me in on a journey that he was on this summer. They had an opportunity to come up to move into sort of their dream house. And everything was laid out. The only thing that was in the way was they had to sell their house. And I know, because I wasn't like, oh, you're just believing this. His house really was the nicest house on the street. And all the ones around it were selling in a day. Like, dude, you've got this made. Put the house up for sale. Get out of there. It's going to be great. So I get on the market. It's ready to go. First day goes by, nothing. It's like, hey, it's real estate. Don't worry about it. First week goes by, nothing. Month goes by, nothing. Months go by. And we're thinking, what is going on here? I'm sitting at my desk doing an email, and I get an email from Kyle that pops through, and he says, hey, I'm just realizing that Sarah and I haven't really asked God about this yet. So would you guys commit to praying with us that God would help sell our house? Would you just do that? I was like, yeah, great. And I would love to say that we prayed and immediately it sold. In fact, we thought that happened. We prayed, and that Friday they got an offer, and it fell through a week later. The deal is that praying and seeking God first looks way less transactional. It looks way less of, I'm asking for this, or I'm doing this, and I'm going to get this. But what it is, it's an admission that, God, I'm finite here, and I might not have all the information. Kyle and Sarah were saying, hey, we don't know why our house isn't selling, but we would love to seek you in this, and we would love to now seek you first. And their house sold. For Abby and I, we've really had to have this test around our money. What does it look like to seek God first when it comes to money? We've always sort of given around this place. Early on, we thought, yeah, okay, they're doing an offering, we can give. But we were a little more, tippers. Like, we have this much in our wallet, so we give this. And then we were challenged by this place in the Bible that was talked about one Sunday about how God says, test me in this. I want your first fruit. I want 10% off the top, and test me and see if I don't throw open the floodgates of heaven. And so we listened to that for a little while, a few years, and finally said, you know what? If I'm going to take this role, there's no way that with integrity I can ask people every single weekend to give generously if we're not doing it. So we got to go there. We've got to go there. We've got to seek God first with our money. And I'll tell you, it's been probably, it's been the number one faith builder is testing God with our money, seeking him first. A couple of years ago, we had this idea of what would it be like to give you an experiment to seek God first with your money. So we had this idea of people don't really have found cash laying around, but what they could do is maybe change their diet. So we challenged you to eat rice and beans for a week, and anything that you save from your grocery bill or not going to McDonald's for lunch, we would take up an offering, and all that money would go outside of this place. And one of the places it went to was something called Preschool Promise. Take a look at this.
Here we are together.
This is a quality preschool in Roselawn run by the YMCA. Children who come here for a year or two leave here ready for kindergarten. Research shows kids who attend quality preschool read well by 3rd grade, graduate high school, and are better prepared for the future. The Preschool Promise is an independent initiative to help all families pay for a quality-rated preschool experience for their 3- and 4-year-olds.
Which one is all, Lavarian? Very good.
Lavarian, in the blue striped shirt, will start kindergarten this fall. He's here because his guardian, his grandfather, knows preschool is important. Quality preschool is expensive. Lavarian's grandpa could not afford to send him here full-time on his own, but Lavarian was able to receive a scholarship from the Preschool Promise pilot, funded by a donation from Crossroads Church.
Trying to get you this week to do a beans and rice fast.
Church members ate rice and beans for a week and donated what they saved on food. The Crossroads donation funded 34 preschool scholarships, including the one for Lavarian.
For him to have a good life. Because I'm not going to be around all the time. So I want him prepared to be independent and, to be able to care for himself.
Preschool is the foundation of every child's success. Preschool today, success tomorrow.
Awesome, yes. It feels good, doesn't it? If you ate rice and beans for a week and you seeked God with your money, that feels good to watch because you know that you helped make that happen. If by chance you are someone in here is one of those 50 people who said, hey, I just want to be honest, I'm still seeking. I just want to tell you, here's a little bit of advice. If you're still seeking in here, do not go to Barnes & Nobles and stand in the spirituality aisle. You will have many, many people who would love to tell you who or what to follow. I have a suggestion for you. If you're seeking to see if God is real, you can ask him. You can ask him. It might sound something like this. It might sound like, God, hey, if you are there, I would love for you to reveal yourself to me. That song that we did at the beginning, I want to know who you are, and just keep your eyes open to see if maybe coincidences, maybe things that people are telling you, you don't just find out that in seeking him, he'll reveal himself to you. First point, seek God first. The second one today is to seek God continually. Continually. If you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, you know what it means to seek continually. And this is our year, 3-0. We're not losing today because we don't play. It's a really good year to be a Bengals fan, but we know what it means to seek continually. It says it this way in the book of Psalms, seek the Lord and his strength. Here it is, seek his presence continually. Never stop. You know, we looked at that framework at the beginning of seek, receive, follow, and produce, and it looks very linear. And just looking at this, you would imagine that each one of those arrows represents sort of a graduation ceremony. Okay, I'm no longer a seeker, I'm now a receiver. Okay, now I am a follower. Perfect, I'm moving along it. And the reality is that couldn't be further from the truth. Because what really happens is our journey in each area, we are always seeking. We're always receiving. We're always following, and we're always producing. In fact, I think it looks a little bit more like this. And when we seek, and when we see that it's not just something that we graduate from, it goes on forever. We just keep doing it. We learn that there's discipline in seeking. Now, I don't want to get at all into church bashing, but I'll just tell you that when I was growing up, the church that I went to, I felt like once you were done seeking God and once you found him, seeking was over. In fact, I would say that a place like Crossroads was church for sissies. Oh, that's a seeker church. Good. That's church light. When you're ready for some real hard stuff, come to the big boys and we'll teach you about it. And let me tell you, I could not have been further from the truth. My name's Greg McElfresh. I've been following Jesus for 16 years and I'm still seeking. It goes on forever. Now, one thing I would like to clarify is there's a difference between being a seeker and seeking. You know, sometimes I think that we almost applaud in our culture this deal of like, hey, I'm just going to be here. I'm just going to get the spiritual aura. I'm going to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's going to be good. But the reality is you would be silly when you were seeking, if you found an answer, to not take it. You can still be seeking without always calling yourself a seeker. I love this quote. It's from an old theologian, G.K. Chesterton. It says, merely having an open mind is nothing. The object of opening the mind, as of opening the mouth, is to shut it again on something solid. If you're seeking and you find answers, grab them. Brian talked last week about one of the main ways we get thrust into seeking mode is when we hit a wall. And my friend Wayne has recently experienced one of those. Let's take a look at his story.
So my life before I was seeking Jesus was kind of a whirlwind, really. I was chasing things that I had no idea what I was chasing. I needed to be, or felt this need to be, somebody I wasn't. I always wanted to be that guy in the limelight, or I wanted the best job, the nicest car, things like that growing up. And I was just sucked into that, and it played out in all of my relationships. Back in October of last year, I had kind of hit rock bottom. I had started feeling this sense of just something was missing. I had gotten married and divorced. I had left my wife and our kids. Pretty much everything that I touched seemed to just fall to pieces. I had ruined a lot of relationships. I have had lost a lot of good things in my life because of the pride, because of this need to fix things on my own, or I got this, I don't need anything but me. I'd heard about a church in Florence, and driving one day took a wrong turn and actually ended up at Crossroads in their parking lot, and decided I'm just gonna go in and see what this is, see what's going on. I was looking for something. I had no idea at that point really what it was, but at that point I had given up. I had just surrendered to myself and decided, you know what, I can't do this on my own. There is something greater. I remember looking around and seeing people that, to me, seemed to be at a peace and at a place where I wanted that. So I remember hearing about these community groups at Crossroads, and I remember feeling this need to be a part of that. I had a lot of questions going into the God experiment. I had a lot of questions about why. How did this whole thing start, or why? How is it possible for someone to love me so much, to show me grace, to let me know that it's okay, things are okay, you know? I don't feel like that I have all the answers, and I absolutely do struggle on a daily basis with a lot of the same things that I did even before. The difference now is I have God on my side. Not only do I have God on my side, but He's introduced me through my community groups and through Crossroads to some people that I can turn to. Have 3 small children. Their ages now are 10, 13, and 14, all girls, so that's a challenge in itself. That's probably the real reason why I was seeking God for strength there. No, I'm kidding, but I do joke a lot about needing strength with my daughters, and I hope and I pray every day that they notice a difference in me. The coolest thing, most recently I had a prayer answered with my daughter going to the middle school ministry block party that they had, and wow, that was just really cool for me. You know, I'm brand new on my journey with God, and there are things that I don't know, things I don't understand, but the one hope and the one strength that I know that I get from God is being a role model for my daughters, and hopefully that they see a change in me, and that they seek out on the same journey as I am.
Wayne knows what it is like to seek. You know, he could have hit that wall and thrown his hands up in the air and went the opposite direction. But he didn't. He busted through it, and he's on a seeking journey. That's why we exist. Crossroads exists to connect seekers to growing Christ followers. Phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. The bummer is, for Wayne and for me and for you, is that was not his last wall. He will hit another wall. There's a wall coming, and he'll have an option. He can turn away, or he can continue to seek. He can continue to seek. You know, I feel like a lot of people sometimes feel guilty because they don't seek after God until they come up against a hard place. And then it's sort of like, man, is God really going to receive me? Because I've been doing my own thing, and the only reason I'm even going to church right now is because I got this bad diagnosis or because my marriage is on the rocks. Hey, in the 321 instances of the word seek, I'm betting half of them that I read were people in deep doo-doo who went, okay, God, I need you now. I need you now. If you're up against a wall, use it as an opportunity to seek. On Friday mornings around here, I'm the only one in the office, and it's very peaceful, very quiet. And for a while, because I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, I was using it as an opportunity to sort of catch up on my quiet time. Mornings, nights, it was like crazy. So, okay, I'm going to spend some time in my Bible, spend some time praying on Friday mornings. It was great. And then eventually I started to feel a little guilty about it. I thought, man, this is not really productive. I've got a lot of emails and people I could be meeting with, so I'm going to stop doing this. And I got some great counsel from my boss. She said, hey, the number one thing you need to do is you need to be connecting with God. You need to be hearing Him tell you what's next for you and what's next for Crossroads. So every Friday morning, I spend from 8 to 4, it's blocked out in my calendar, sitting over by this fireplace, reading my Bible and praying. And I just gave you the most detached example because all you're thinking right now is, oh, hard life. You get paid for 4 hours every Friday to read your Bible and to pray. All I'm saying is this. If you want to seek God continually, it's going to have a cost associated with it. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some resources, but he wants you to seek him continually. Third point is this. Seek God with your whole heart. Seek him with your whole heart, with everything you got. There's a couple places in the Bible that talk about this. The first one's out of the book of Jeremiah. It says, "Then you'll call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You'll seek me and find me." When? When you seek me with all your heart. Proverbs says it this way, "I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me." How do they seek him? Diligently. Diligently. If we want to find God, we've got to seek after him with our whole heart. Now, this is another one where I think that you probably already know what it means to seek with your whole heart. My 1-year-old Liv has recently found out about the diaper champ. If you've not been a parent for a decade or two, you might not know about this airlock chamber that you can put poopy diapers in and sort of like chunk them down in there, and then they don't make your whole house smell disgusting. So what Liv has found out is not only can she put a diaper in the diaper genie, she can put anything that will fit in the diaper genie. And in our house, in the bedroom, our only ceiling light and our ceiling fan is controlled by a remote control. And that thing went up missing a couple weeks ago. Not it on checking the diaper champ. And let me tell you, we knew what it meant to seek with our whole hearts because we were all over the place because Daddy is not sleeping unless he has a ceiling fan on, so we're going to find the freaking remote. And we found it. We found it. What would it look like if we went after God with the same energy, with the same diligence, with the same wholeheartedness as we do when we're late for work and we can't find our keys? Or when you've lost your wedding rings and you've torn up every couch cushion because you're not going to stop until you find them. You seek God with your whole heart. Just that action of seeking God with your whole heart implies that you're turning from something. If you're going to seek God with your whole heart, your heart cannot be divided. There's place after place in the Bible that talks about not having a double mind, that talks about where your money is, there your treasure is, or how you can't serve both God and money. And it really rings true, this idea that, hey, if we're going to seek after God, we've got a choice. Are we going to kind of do it, or are we going to really go after him? I found this out lately with my wife. We have our 7th wedding anniversary tomorrow, and I just had realized that, man, if left to my own devices, I'm not as good of a husband now as I was 7 years ago. It's becoming a little too easy to just let that thing go on cruise control. And especially in this role, sometimes I come home and I'm just beat and I just want to sit on the couch and I don't really want to ask about how her day was. And it hit me that, man, if I'm exhausting everything that I am with the people that I work with and the people that I serve, and I have nothing left for my wife, that is not a good road to be traveling down. So I went to her, I got a little vulnerable, I just said, hey, I recognize that I have not been even trying to be a good husband or be a good dad. I want to do that. She received it well, didn't make me feel bad about it, it was awesome. Last series, we did this series Like a Boss, and there was a week in there on rest. If you want to work hard, you got to rest. Everyone's favorite series, everyone's favorite work week in a work series is on rest. Everyone loves that one because it talks about how, and so I did too. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, how could I rest? Brian asked us, close our eyes, give you a picture. And I remembered that last time we did a work series and we asked you how you might rest, I saw a motorcycle. And I got a motorcycle, and it was awesome. And then we moved to the west side, and I thought, you know what, these roads, I will be roadkill in 2 seconds if I'm on this motorcycle. I got to sell this thing, so I sold it. And wouldn't you know that a couple weeks ago, I saw another motorcycle. I'm like, oh, gosh, God, okay, if that's how I rest, okay, I guess I'm going to look for another motorcycle. So I got to clear it by Abby, and so I go to Abby and say, hey, thinking about another motorcycle. These roads aren't as bad. I sort of know them now. And she said, okay, how does that fit into you being a more intentional dad and a more intentional husband? Now, my wife is wonderful, and she was not trying to be manipulative with this question, but what she was getting clued in on is that What I do when I have a motorcycle is I spend a lot more time by myself. I spend a lot more time in the garage, and I spend a lot more off days going, it's really pretty out. I think I'm going to head out. And what I had to decide in that moment was, am I going to seek after my wife with my whole heart, or am I going to kind of seek after her and kind of seek for myself? When we seek after God, he wants us to get serious, and he wants us to go after him diligently. He wants us to seek him with his whole heart. And you know what's really cool about this? What's really cool is there's a verse in Psalms, and it says this: the young lions suffer want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. If I seek after God, I will lack absolutely nothing. Nothing. And if there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's not that when I seek, things go better. It's not that when I'm seeking, my relationship with God is better. It's not that when I'm seeking my wife, my relationship is better. Here it is. The only way my life works is when I'm seeking. The only way my relationship with God is if I'm seeking after him. The only way my marriage works if I'm seeking after my wife. But the great part is that Jesus gives us a promise. And he gives us a promise in the book of Matthew. He says, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be open. He's telling you, hey, I promise you this. If you seek, you'll find. My 3-year-old Emmy, oftentimes when I come home from work, runs up to me, grabs me around the waist, and says, do you want to play hide and seek? And on good days, I say yes. I say yes. Now, what you should know about Emmy is she is terrible at this game. She hides beside chairs. She hides under things with her feet sticking out. She hides in the closet with the door wide open. But on the off chance that Emmy has a good hiding spot, I know that when I get to 10 and I say, ready or not, here I come, every time she's going to go, Daddy, I'm right here. I'm right here. Why does she do that? She does it because she wants to be found. She wants to be found, and she's really not hiding at all. And I'd say the same is true for God. Maybe you feel like he's hiding from you. Maybe you feel like you've been looking for a long time, but he promises you, hey, if you knock, I'll open the door. If you seek me, you'll find me every single time because he wants to be found. God, I ask that for anyone in here who has a heart that wants to seek, that you would light it up again. That you would put in hearts that ask great questions regardless of how safe or dangerous they are. And that you'd be true to your word, and that when we seek you, we'd find you. It's in your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. Hey, let's do this song again that we did at the beginning. Seek the Lord, and he will be found. Why don't you stand, and we'll sing this together.
We're hungry for so much more. Nothing we have satisfies. We are thirsty for living water. Can it be found without a price? Is there more than what we know? Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near. Yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Shows his mercy and compassion. Whoa. We are waiting for so much more. We're working harder every day. We are searching deeper meaning. Help us understand your way. Is there more draw near, yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Shows us mercy and compassion. Whoa. We find joy in this lifetime. Can we find peace in the storm? Lord, help us find you. Help us listen and be still. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near, yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Call upon him and he will draw near, yeah. Seek the Lord and he will be found. Shows us mercy and compassion. Whoa.
Hey, whatever it is this week, maybe it's your marriage. What's it look like to seek God in your marriage? Maybe it's the job that's just a 9 to 5 and you're in a rut. What would it look like to seek God there? What would it look like with the teenage son or daughter that you have and you just hit wall after wall? What would it look like to invite God into that conversation? Hey, whatever it is, he says, if you seek me, you'll find me. Have a great, great week.